Okay, I get that some people don't come from a great academic background and haven't had particularly great educational experiences. I also get that there are people who have less than average IQs, and I'm not passing judgment on that at all. However, when people make comments that are just absurd, or when people have conversations that are just absurd, I can't help but want to jump in and correct them, because there's a difference between having a low IQ and acting like a moron.
I got some people talking about my Kylie Rodney lives, and I kind of piss some people off. But you know what? They like it when I piss them off. They like it when I have a different of opinion, or think outside the box. Like, they all like to say this and this and this and this and this. And what has anybody in Shan's world done? Yeah, what have they actually done for Kylie?
Cool.
Okay, let's start by talking about how you establish a topic. You establish a topic by saying what it is and then explaining it. So saying they like it when I piss them off, for starters, oxymoron. Okay, nobody likes it when someone pisses them off. And if anybody thinks that, then obviously they've got a few screws rattling around in there somewhere that need to be tightened up a little bit. So, having claimed that we like it when she pisses us off, what we would expect now would be for her to give an example that's going to qualify that statement. Something that shows her reason for saying that. Does she say that? No, she doesn't. Instead, she goes to her old fallback. The question of, what has anyone in Shan's world done for Kylie? Funny thing is, she's asked this question so many times. We've addressed this question so many times. And yet, she still somehow can't take it on board and keeps asking the same question over and over. Perhaps, Meghan, if you actually tried to pay attention, you might understand what all these different content creators have actually done for Kylie's case. You might be surprised.
The reasonable ones realized that there wasn't shit that could be accomplished and they moved on, and all the other fucking retards stayed stuck on some shit that don't even fucking exist in reality.
Okay, well, first of all, wow. Okay, let's address the first part. So the reasonable people moved on. Let's talk about the people that moved on. We'll put them in two different categories. You've got the creators who, the way they run their channels is that they cover popular topics. They don't linger on a topic when there's something new that's come up that's more popular. They jump from one to the next in order to keep their subs up, keep their views up. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to run your channel as a business, then that's what you probably have to do. And other people that moved on, there's those people whose channels simply no longer exist because they were bullied or brought off. Likewise, you've got people who were brought off. Do you think it's a coincidence when you see someone who all of a sudden just stops covering Kylie content and suddenly has some amazing windfall? So they get some fabulous contract for some sort of online talk show, or they get a publishing deal, or suddenly out of the blue they get a new house with a whole heap of new furniture. Of course, apparently the rest of us fall into a third category. We are the, I'm not going to use that word because it's offensive, but yeah, we're apparently less than human, and we're following stuff that doesn't even exist. Interesting, because a lot of what we're looking at is factual stuff based on what was put out by law enforcement, what was put out by searchers, Adventures with Purpose, people around Kylie at the time she was missing and after she was found. Where's the stuff that's not real?
In grown-up life, like if you were to go to the fucking courthouse where the most grown-up of all the grown-ups are and ask them about justice for Kylie Rodney, justice comes from the judicial system. So when the fucking cops say it's done, it's solved, it's justice, that's it. Like, y'all fucking imaginating all this shit that don't even fucking exist in real grown-up reality. Like,
so honestly, that's just comical. The most grown-up of all the grown-ups are at the courthouse. Yep, you heard it, folks. So if you're not at the courthouse, you're not a real grown-up. And while, sure, justice does partially come from the judicial system, it also comes from the people who speak out against injustices and speak out to make a change. That's what we're doing. We're speaking out for the sake of justice. Okay. Imaginating? Not even a word. Imaginating. I'm sorry, that's just way too hilarious. When you're talking about who the real grown-ups are and you're using the word imaginating, it just, I'm speechless. Who's the real grown-up? Okay, real for just a moment there. So you're saying that the grown-ups at the courthouse and the cops are saying that Kylie's case is done and it's solved. Actually, did a little bit of research, you'll find that the case is actually still open. CHP hasn't closed the case. And, to the best of my knowledge, it is still under the FBI's jurisdiction. It may have been closed by the two counties, but that is just their part of the case that is closed. As far as us all imaginating stuff, go back and look at people's videos. There's plenty of evidence, cold, hard, solid facts and evidence in relation to Kylie's case. We're not imaginating stuff.
it's crazy, dude. It's like teaching fucking retarded toddlers and shit.
Once again, offensive, rude language. So I'm not going to use that word. I'm not going to comment on his use of that word. But I do have a question. Who are these toddlers that you're talking about, Blind?
At the end of the day, you're exactly right. The judge and jury are the ones that make the decisions. The cops are the ones that make the decision. It's nobody else that's going to change it. It's no one else that's going to make it a difference. It's, at the end of the day, her parents have said, leave it alone, drop it. And people that are consistently doing it is just being disrespectful. So you are being disrespectful to Kylie Rodney.
Actually, when it comes down to a criminal case that involves someone else being responsible for the death of another person, the parents don't get a say in the matter. So you may believe that her parents have said, we'll drop the case. So the case has been dropped. That's not how it works. You're naive if you believe that. Meanwhile, currently there is nothing within the actual judicial system in relation to Kylie's case. So no, the courts have absolutely no control over what's going on right now. We talk about disrespectful. Do you mean disrespectful as in making up a song that sounds more like a taunt to do with Kylie? Or commenting about a vehicle, saying that it has that freshwater smell about it? Do I need to continue? There's plenty more examples of that. Who's disrespectful? And you know what? We can make a difference. So saying that we have no control over the situation, we can't do anything about it, we're keeping Kylie's name out there. We're keeping the spotlight on Kylie's case. That's how you make a difference. Look up the Kristen Smart case. How did that case end up being solved? That was because of a podcaster who decided to put the spotlight back on Kristen's case. The outcome being Paul Flores was finally charged and will spend the rest of his life in jail.
They asked Lindsay Lindsay Neiman asked, and at first, dude, I thought that what she said was a little bit disrespectful too, but now it's profound. Not like seeing everything that happened, because she said there's honor in silence. And I think the part she left off is important, because the part that she left off is there is honor in silence when everything that you speak dishonors what you're talking about. Like, it
Correct.
would be more honorable for y'all to shut the fuck up than to continue dishonoring Kylie Rodney's name with the bullshit that they spout. Like, that's just real talk.
Dude, your real talk makes no sense whatsoever. There is no honour in silence, whatever way you look at it. We're not doing anything to dishonour Kylie's name. What we're doing is celebrating her legacy and fighting for justice for a 16-year-old girl who never deserved what happened to her.
Exactly. No, you're 100% right, and that's exactly why I said what I said the other day. Is that no one, when the parents have asked you, and when everybody's around you, has said too much, too much, too much, and no one stops. You're not the problem. You're not going. You are the problem. You're not the. You're not the.
Yeah, and,
You're
and, and
not God's. Go ahead.
that's what they need to do. They need to go tell God. Like, with all their complaints and everything that they fucking have to say about you, go fucking tell the only person that will listen to you is God. Because nobody here on earth gives a shit.
Nobody here on earth gives a right, sure. Why are there so many people still fighting for Kylie? Because they do give a damn. We all give a fuck about Kylie.
Like, everything they say is stupid, dude. It's already past fucking ridiculous.
Give him peace. And everybody says, I haven't stood up for Kylie. Now I'm saying, I'm standing up for Kylie and saying, let her rest. Let
Yep.
her spirit go. Let her rest in peace. Let her not sit here and if she is in turmoil in heaven or watching this in some way, shape, or form, you're just disrupting her. You're not helping her. You are.
Yeah, and also none of them knew her, dude. I can say this.
Correct.
I seen her musical talent. And that was from a young age, like on video and stuff. And I can say this as a musician, a lot of musicians that are that good and aren't like actively pursuing a music career, it's because they don't want all this attention. And maybe y'all are fucking doing the worst thing that she could ever want by just blasting her fucking name all across YouTube. Like, you don't know her. You don't know. And if you don't know, you should never fucking talk on something that you don't know.
Listening to those two clowns just then was just mind-blowing. Meghan trying to say that us trying to fight for justice for Kylie meant that she couldn't have peace. No, what stops a person from getting peace? When someone does something that ends your life and there's no justice. Do you really think that Kylie is totally at peace when there's no justice? I don't understand, Meghan, why you are so intent on burying Kylie's case. To me, that suggests involvement of some sort. Who are you protecting? You've said you don't love Sammy. Who are you protecting? Why are you so intent on us dropping the case and leaving Kylie alone? Because it's certainly not about giving her peace. And as for, oh, she's a musician, she might not have wanted the attention. There was one of her friends who came out, either while she was missing or just after she was found, who made a public post saying that Kylie would have loved the public exposure, but just not in this way. Kylie had big things coming for her, and it was all taken away. Kylie would want people still saying her name and remembering who she was. How do I know that? Because that's what her friends said early in the piece. Kylie wanted recognition. She didn't want recognition of the sort that she's getting right now. She wanted to go out in the world, make something of herself, and be recognised for her achievements. We can't give her that, but we can at least continue saying her name and at least continue fighting for justice for Kylie. So these two clowns have no idea what they're talking about, and to me, the way they are talking is just utterly disrespectful and ignorant.
Right, 100%. And and like you just said, they don't know her. I didn't know her. I didn't know anything about Kylie until I saw a missing poster. And so when people say I'm cold-hearted because I can't feel something for her, I'm being a realist. Like if I think it would be odd if I was like, oh yes, this and this and this and this. I never met the child, but I feel this connection to someone that I've never met. What?
Sadly, Meghan, you will never understand the meaning of empathy, because that's what you are lacking. Decent people have empathy. No, we never met Kylie, but we've learned a heck of a lot about her since she went missing and since she passed. And we're good people, so we feel empathy. We feel sadness over the loss of this child. You saying that, well, you can't feel anything about her death, so why would we really care about it? That's not a reflection on us at all. That's a reflection on you. That shows that you are a cold-hearted person with no empathy. Because only someone who is cold-hearted and completely devoid of empathy could feel no compassion whatsoever over the death of a 16-year-old child. And yet that's what you are saying right there. You are in effect saying you couldn't give a damn about Kylie. Way to go. It's good that we know what kind of person you truly are.